Playful game. Entering team select screen. The Las Vegas Raiders, the home team, are selected. Ready?
It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And our focus goes to Trayvon Mullen, who's stating his place among the league's best with 6 picks this season. It's the Raiders and the Texans, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Today, we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Houston Texans and the Las Vegas Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they come in pretty desperate here for a win as they've started the year 0-5.
And it seems way too early to start talking about hot seats. But guess what? When a team is 0-5, people start wondering about their jobs.
Entering play call screen.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. And as the Raiders take over on offense, we get to see the man who has been the leader of this team for 9 seasons now, under center Derek Carr.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Play type, RPO, run, pass, with pass, Y stick. Circle button. Triangle
right
button.
to the air is
Circle
Carr.
button. R1 button. Plus
And his
button.
first pass is
Entering
incomplete.
play call. Y stick.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it
Triangle
are the
button.
trainers and
Circle
the coaches.
button.
Well done.
The Carr's throw going to be taken in by Cole. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas first down. The Raiders had a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they come in with fresh legs. They got the extra
Entering
time
play
off
clock.
thanks to an
Y
early
stick.
season open week.
And usually your hope is that your open week comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get your fresh legs back, you have to take that time and run with it. And that's what they're trying to get done here.
They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
RPO, run, pass. Option is set to standard pass. Option is set to play action pass 6. Play cover, a post Y cross.
Now a play fake. Carr rolling to his left. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on the heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Triangle button.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch.
Entering play
Doesn't
call.
get a lot out of it,
Stick.
but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing his car on third down.
Square button.
Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 33. That one goes for 13 yards and it moves his stakes. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts.
Run.
Well, here are the body blows right
Inside.
now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Barkley, inside handoff. Able to slither by. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Entering play call. Inside. Play. RPO. Run. Pass. Quick. Y stick.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Circle button.
Here's Carr to
Circle
throw.
Button.
The open man here, Renfro. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. A Raider first down, Carter Renfro. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball. And sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Triangle button.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. The sack there by Rasheem Green. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Entering plate. Y stick. Y stick. Plate. Run. Pass. Option is set to standard pass. Option is set to shotgun pass. Option is set to play action pass 60. Play action. Cover. A post Y cross. Coverts. A post Y cross.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14.
Cross button.
Another try after the first down sack. Carr out to his
Triangle
left.
button.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Davante Adams, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. The touchdown giving him the first quarter lead. Remember, they lost a rough game 2 weeks ago. Then they had to sit through the open week, but a good start here.
And just think about everyone around them, everyone around the organization. When you lose headed into that open week, everyone's cringing because you don't have a chance to get on the horse and ride it again for at least 2 weeks. Well, they were able to take that time, use it constructively, and now they're back in form.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And that makes it 7-zip Vegas. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And Davante Adams able to finish things with a touchdown reception.
Entering play call. Special teams. You have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. As the Texans offense runs out, we get a peek at the man under center. Second-year quarterback Davis Mills out of Stanford.
So no advantage in this game for either quarterback in terms of coming off that open week, huh?
Yeah, they both had buys.
Both had them, so you got to figure both of them went back, watched some extra tape, polished up their game, checked out their fundamentals, but they also both had an extra week to prepare for each other's defenses. This could be a whole lot of fun.
First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans at their 25-yard line. A first down throw for Mills. But he's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
On first and 10, Mills. His throw incomplete. And Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get after them early, right? Take away any chance of them building any confidence. But the second thing is you prepare a little bit differently. You've got to expect this team to take chances, go for it on 3rd and 4th downs, run a lot of trick plays, anything to try and break their losing streak. So you must stay alert and stay aware.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. Plenty of things to talk about here, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
On first down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, here's Mills. Cooks on the quick slant. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. That catch for his career is number 589, so 11 away from 600, but it also right now ties him with Hall of Famer Fred Biletnikoff.
And we remember Fred Biletnikoff well because of the way he went about his business in catching the football. And we're seeing something similar here. Someone who runs precise routes, has excellent hands, and knows how to get the ball to the end zone.
He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, but there is a flag down. He might get another shot at this. Well, that flag puts them on their heels a little bit more defensively as the officials walk it upfield.
Yeah, and they can blame the officials all they want, but bottom line, it's their own fault because, to me, that was an avoidable call. Stay focused and avoid major mistakes like that.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down. On the handoff, running left, Marlon Mack. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. To throw, Mills. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Mack. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
On 3rd down, here's Mills. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Well, Lovie Smith, he's seen plenty of challenges in his time as a coach, and he's going to throw the red flag on this one.
Previous play is under review.
They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have 1 challenge remaining. Mills to the sideline, and out now is Kaimi Fairbairn for the Houston field goal try. This a 43-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. Dances by him, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 40 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. Well, with Saquon Barkley, you often think of the elusiveness, the quickness, but He can definitely run with purpose as well, and he's able to shed a tackler there and continue on.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him.
Entering
you have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Square button.
Now Carr.
Circle button.
This throw over the middle taken in by Cole.
Entering play call.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And it'll be 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
Entering play call. Play RPO. Run. Pass. With pass. Y stick. Goal line fade. Slants.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46.
Cross button.
To throw, it's
Triangle
Carr.
button. Triangle button.
To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there.
Entering play
He doesn't
call.
get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch it, turn upfield, and pick up the 1st down.
Inside zone split.
Now a 2nd down and 6.
Cross button.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Inside handoff.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
Triangle button. Square button.
Now Carr.
Circle button.
And finding Keelan Cole. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the 1st drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Cross button.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he can only manage to get a couple.
Entering
2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Circle button. Cross-button.
Throwing on second and 8. Carr over the middle, complete. That's Cole. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Inside zone.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. Oh, look at that. Oh, a heck of a move. Man. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
Entering play call, inside, AHB blunt dive, MTN AHB plunge, AHB power G, AHB dive.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Cross-button.
Now, first carry for the former Pro Bowler, Josh Jacobs. He showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Here's a give to Barkley. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
The running game's played a huge part in getting them down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there. But that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Again, it's Barkley. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Saquon Barkley with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And they're able to add on to their advantage. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 8 categories. You have 15 options. Add attempt is selected.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And his kick is no good. It's an early miss. We'll see if that has any ramifications later here as the afternoon wears on.
Special teams, you have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game.
And they, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week. And in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over.
16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Throwing, Mills. Out of his hands quick to Jackson. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll go with Mack here up the middle. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
There are 6 categories.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They go right back to Mack. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
6 categories.
2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. It's caught by Jackson. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
Suggestions. There are 6 categories.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A run up the middle with Mack. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. But now he appears to be in some pain. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Play fake, Mills. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Rocky Sin. And the Raiders will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. You see the numbers, all those carries. If you get that many carries in the drive, you better finish it with a touchdown, and he did.
Yeah, and deservedly so, right? Because we've seen times like the Carolina Panthers, sometimes Jonathan Stewart to carry the ball all the way down, and then Cam, he's such a great goal line runner, he'll carry it in. But in this case, though, that didn't happen. The fellow lugging the load, he's the one who got to reap the reward.
Yeah, there was no touchdown vulture here. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Triangle button. Triangle button.
Carr.
Circle button.
The throw taken in by Cole. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Entering play call with joystick. Circle button. Triangle
on
button.
first down, Carr connects with Cole again. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
You have 13 options. Joystick is selected.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4.
Square button. Triangle button.
Here's Carr.
Triangle button.
Throw left side, taken in by Renfro. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away.
Run.
And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Inside, AHB blunt dive.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, Barkley. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
Entering play call. Entering friend. Quick game options. Coaching. Pop-up menu. Medical center is selected. Entering player name K. Player name J Simpson. Position LG. Injury type dislocated ankle. Injury length 1 week. Injury length. Injury type. Position player name K Fackrell. Position lobe. Injury type. Injury type complete MCL tear. Injury length placed on error. Player name M Kaiser. QB selected. Texans selected. You have to entering play type RPO run pass run inside AHB blunt dive.
A couple of first downs has the football position at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it again with Barkley. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Square button.
2nd and 5 now.
Button.
Carr.
Circle button. Circle button.
Got an open man. Keelan Cole.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 35. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Entering play, Y stick, play type, special, RP, run, run. Option is set to PD round 1, option is set to FD round 2 play, option is set to draw 9 plays. Draw, error, AHB leg draw.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 35-yard line.
Cross button. Circle
On the
button.
draw, this is Barkley. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Nice play by Jerry Hughes to drop him behind the line.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Entering play call, draw, error 7, play type, RPO, run, pass. Option is set to standard pass 32, option is set to shotgun pass 1, shotgun, comeback Z post, inside cross.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
Cross button.
Now Carr.
Cross button. Triangle button.
And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Option is set to standard pass. Option is set to quick pass 13 play. Quick pass. Y stick.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down.
Cross button. Triangle
Carr
button.
going to throw.
Triangle button.
This one to the sideline. He's got it.
Entering
A nice
play
job to
call.
keep the feet in, but he is a bit short here of a first down. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Field goal 47 yards. Gun plan. There are 8 player. There are 8 gun plan. There are 8 categories. Coach suggests recent plays. There are personnel. There are 8 play type. Run. Pass. Special. Pass. Quick Y stick. Cross button.
They'll go for it. It's Carr. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cole. And he is going to have a Raiders first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. The hitch route works. It's something you see quite a bit on 3rd, 4th down in these situations, and they got it to go for.
And what you're counting on is a couple of things. One, you want the guy catching that route to make people miss right away, almost like a punt returner. And 2, you're expecting to pick up some blocks once he gets to the 2nd level, able to get downfield. And on that play, everything came together.
So after the 4th down conversion, now 1st and 10 inside the 25. A handoff to Barkley. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. He was brought down by Malik Collins.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Circle button. Cross button.
Throwing on
Square
2nd
button.
down. Carr. He finds his man, complete. That's Cole. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 12-yard line. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
I can't help but chuckle a little bit because at this point, it can't be a surprise to anyone in the building who's going to get the ball. They just keep feeding him over and over, and he just keeps on delivering.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Triangle button.
Throwing now is
Triangle
Carr.
button. Circle button.
Gets this to Saquon Barkley out of the backfield. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Square button. Cross button.
To throw again on 2nd down. Carr. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Entering play call with pass. There are 6 categories. Y-stick.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Circle button. Triangle
Carr
button.
now to throw.
R1 button. R1 button. R1 button.
And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
Pass. With pass. Y-stick. Triangle button. Triangle button.
Carr going to go on 4th down. And he comes back with one complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
A kind of a throwback weekend for our primetime games here in Week 7. Later tonight, a couple of the great AFC teams of the 70s do battle. The Steelers and Dolphins from Miami on Sunday night. And then tomorrow, Monday Night Football, Bears and Patriots from Foxborough. A rematch of Super Bowl 20. Bears won that one 46-10. But fear not for the Patriots. If I remember correctly, they've won a few in the years following. A run by Mack to start the drive. They find some open field here. And finally taken out of bounds all the way up near midfield. 56 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. So that run there, yeah, I don't know if it's overstating things to call it a thing of beauty, but in terms of football plays, that's as good as you're going to see.
And what I really enjoyed about that run and what made it so impressive to me was how he improvised along the way. Sometimes on a big play, you just get the football and you take off in a straight line and go. But this time, how about the artistry of that play? That looked a little bit like a Picasso to me.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Staying on the ground with Mack. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on rips like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From just shy of midfield, Mills. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's fourth down.
He was trying to get that one out to his running back out of the backfield, but that one was read and timed perfectly, and they were able to break it up.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
On fourth down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. This will be fielded at the 17. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's in his zone, second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
You had 50 play tight, RPO, run, pass, quick pass, error, Y stick.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Triangle button.
To throw his car. Out to Cole on the right side.
Entering
Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing his car on 3rd down. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Y stick, run, pass. Option is set to Hail Mary, free place. Hail Mary, goal post.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Triangle
Here's
button.
Carr to throw.
Triangle button. Square button.
He's going to fire one deep
Square
over the middle.
button.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown. Keelan Cole, 63 yards. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
And most people think of Derek Carr kind of as a guy who excels throwing the short pass, but he can dial it up when need be.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And the final number of the next-gen stats, that ball traveling a full 59 yards through the air.
Carlson on for the PAT. And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his second extra point here in the first half.
Play call, special teams. You have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point seeding.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
1st and 10 now for Mills and the Texans.
At their own 25-yard line.
A 1st down throw for Mills.
Connects here with the tight end Blake Jarwin. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Mills throw taken in by Jarwin.
Entering play call.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mills, the tight end Jarwin with it out on the left side. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Mills again.
Options, cover 1 hole is selected.
And that throw behind his man. He missed him, incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
From the gun, here's Mills.
And that's complete to Cooks.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down.
Cover 1 hole is selected.
This to the outside for Mack. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Suggestions. There are 6 categories.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Suggestions. There are 6 categories.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Again, it's Mills.
And an incomplete pass.
Entering play call.
That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
On second down, Mills again.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on third.
To throw, Mills.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this will remain a 16-point deficit.
And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together.
Run. Pass. Hail Mary. Error 6. Goal post.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46.
Triangle
To throw,
button.
it's Carr.
Triangle button. Cross button.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach. All game long, all practice long, every meeting, get the football. That's what they want.
There are 6 categories. Entering instant replay. Call timeout. Challenge play is selected. Entering play call. Coach suggests cover 4 drop.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Entering instant call. Challenge play is selected.
Following the fumble recovery, Mills. This to Jarwin. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
There are 6 categories.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd down and 4.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. Fairbairn able to put this one through, and that will cut the lead down to 13.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. Fields it right around the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25.
Entering play call. Play run. FD run. Error 7 cat. FD dive. FD power. Square button.
The final shot here before half for Carr.
R1 button. R1 button.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
So we have reached halftime here in Vegas with the Raiders on top.
As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll start up in the Mile High City, an AFC matchup between New York and Denver. And it's the Broncos who have the lead in the second quarter. 2 touchdown passes there for Russell Wilson. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Dwayne Eskridge, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley to check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. And they trail the visiting Chiefs in that one. Patrick Mahomes killing it. 3 touchdown passes. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for the Texans in that first half. And they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first 2 quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they were even better throwing the football. Lots of open receivers to choose from, and you can bet that'll continue to be a focus in the second half. Both teams making their final adjustments before we get started once again. And for the call of the second half, let's send you back out to Allegiant Stadium and Brandon Gott.
Defend outside run. Defend deep pass.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Selected.
The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half.
And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. And the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the third quarter. In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense is thrown at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
First down, Mills. He dumps this off to Mack.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Mack off the draw play. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Now Mills.
They'll run the screen with Mack. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1.
Yeah, and on third down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force fourth down.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the second time. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
Entering play call, RPO, run, FB run. There are 7 categories. Play type, RPO, run. Option is set to QB run 1. Option is set to inside handoff 50. Inside, AHB blunt dive.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them. And boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
2nd and 8 coming up.
Cross button. Triangle button.
Now Carr.
R1 button.
Got an open man, Keelan Cole. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Gun, weak, strong, I form, close, across, inside zone, pass print HB flat, inside zone. Cross button.
Barkley inside handoff. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
89 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Inside zone split.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Cross button.
They'll go to Barkley again, and he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Entering play call, AHB blunt dive.
Now Saquon Barkley. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Option is set to Hail Mary 3 plays. Hail Mary, goal post.
2nd down and 8.
Now they'll throw with Carr.
Triangle button. Triangle button.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get. Taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
The line to gain is the 33 on third down.
Triangle
now
button.
Carr.
Square button. R1 button.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 8 categories. You have 12 options. Punt is selected.
Here's A.J. Cole now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt.
And the Texans will take over.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans.
At the 20.
Mills.
Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked by Trayvon Mullen. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 8 categories.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Entering play call. Coach on plan. There are player. There are 8. Formation. There are play type. There are 8. Run. Pass. With pass. There are Y stick. Circle button.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense, everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans
at their 25-yard line.
After the pick six a moment ago, here's Mills again.
Dancing to his left. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Mills now.
Got an open man, the tight end, Jarwin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Looking to throw is Mills.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Here's Mills.
He's letting it fly for Cooks.
And that one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away.
So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession.
They're just looking to do more of the same. They were good in the first half. They've extended their lead so far here in the second half. Oh, they're just looking good on hitting on all cylinders right now.
And sometimes that means a head coach who really has a finger on the pulse of a team may not have anything to say at all. May tell the rest of the coaches,
up a little bit.
Just back it off a little bit. This team has it under control. I remember hearing about Bob Knight years ago in basketball, getting ready to give the final speech before the gold medal game in '84. And on the board, Michael Jordan had written, "Coach, after all we've been through, there's no way we're losing tonight." He didn't even give a pregame speech.
Wow, interesting. Well, right now, no speech is needed.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Up the middle with Barkley. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49.
112 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
Entering play call, AHP blunt dive, inside zone split.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here.
Cross button.
This is Barkley. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From just shy of midfield, Carr, the throw taken in by Cole. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Entering play call with Y-stick, play high, special, RPO, run. Inside, AHB, inside zone split, AHB dive, AHB wham.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Cross button.
On the run, it's Barkley.
R2 button.
That's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Entering play call, inside, play, RPO, run, pass, run. Inside and AHB blunt dive, inside zone split. Cross button.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. Second and 8 coming up.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Second and 8 coming from the 19.
Square button. Circle button.
To throw his
Cross
car.
button. R1 button.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
Square button.
Throwing his car on third down.
R1 button.
Out to Cole on the right side. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on third down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it first and goal.
Entering play call with pass, play, run. Inside and AHB blunt dive. Inside zone split. Cross button.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Inside
the yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
Inside zone.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal.
Cross button.
Another try for Barkley. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
So that's now 10 touchdowns for him on the year. He's into double figures, and we're not even to the halfway point of the season yet.
Partner, doesn't this speak to how well he works with this offensive line?
They know he doesn't need a giant alley to run through. He just needs a little seam. And he's so good at being patient, waiting for things to develop, and then accelerating when it does appear.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And oh, can you believe it? He misses another one, his third so far.
Entering play call, special teams. You have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
Houston set to take over. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
Suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Third and short yardage, Mills.
And this is going to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This is taken at the 23. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. The Yeoman's effort on that last drive. 7 carries, got the touchdown as well. And the O-line probably got a little extra oxygen on the sideline in between.
And deservedly so, because they were also calling for him to continue to get the ball, because there's a rhythm that gets established, right? When you're running it well and the back's getting the ball and he's in sync and reading blocks, and the offensive line wants to continue to pound away. Haven't met an offensive lineman yet that likes to pass block more than he likes to run block. In that last drive, we saw the end result, didn't we?
Yep, and all were rewarded with a trip to pay dirt. Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. And with that, they're down to 1 remaining here in this second half.
Entering play call, AHB blunt dive.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Triangle button.
Throwing now is Carr. He finds his man, complete. It's Cole. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
plate, Y stick.
The Texans here on third down, putting an extra defender in the secondary.
Triangle.
Here's
button.
Carr to throw.
R1 button.
Connects with Cole again. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it
Entering
4th and
play
inches.
call. Coach suggestions.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Play type. There are 8 categories. Run. Inside. AHD blunt dive.
And they'll run forward Barkley. He's been tough for this defense to handle, over 100 yards. You kind of knew that they were going to him on that play, didn't you?
They certainly did. That's one of those situations where you simply say, my best runner over my best blockers. Let's go ahead and pick it up. And I don't care if they know it on the other side. Here we come, and they got it done.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They're just looking for more of the same. Great first half so far. Good second half. And well, sometimes I guess maybe, Charles, these coaches, they don't have to tell these guys much when they're rolling like they're rolling right now.
You're exactly right. I've heard stories of some of the best coaches in our time or any time having grabbed their staffs at halftime and said, guys, they're playing really well. Don't go in there and give them a whole lot of stuff. Just pat them on the back. And essentially the speech at halftime is, let's go, guys, and that's it.
Yeah, no one's upset the apple cart so far.
Circle button.
Throwing again on second down. Carr firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
I had to do a double take on that one, Brandon, because so far in this game, we haven't seen many of his passes fall incomplete.
Option is set to Hail Mary free place. Hail Mary. Goal post.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down.
Triangle button. Circle button. Triangle button.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone.
Square button.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Run. Pass. Option is set to quick pass 13. Quick pass. Y stick.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Triangle
They'll
button.
go for it. It's Carr. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. So following the failed try on 4th down, we'll change ends and change possession. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
There are 6 categories. Outside 3rd.
On 1st and 10, Mills.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Working out of the gun, Mills.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Mack. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline, because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Throwing, Mills.
Try to drop one in, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Texans on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 10.
Mills to throw it.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Mills, 4th down, gotta have it.
And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Raider D, they get the football back. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you, because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we can get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough. They begin with a run by Barkley. And he's got some space here. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Cross button.
Again, it's Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play we just saw, the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them. But all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
There are 7 categories. FD dive, FD power, FD dive.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still 2nd down.
Entering play call, FD dive.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Auction is set to quick pass 13 plays.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down.
Cross button.
Card out a throw.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up fourth down. The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punch coming in, I have a return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter.
Entering play call, Y-stick. Square button.
Carr now on first down.
R1 button.
And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Recent plays, there are coach suggestion, unplanned, there are 8 category, player, there are darn roller. Darn T-drive. A post white cross.
2nd and 2.
Cross button.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
Jonathan Grenard picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Unplanned, there are coach suggestions, recent play, personnel, there are 8, play type, run. In AHB blunt dive.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still 3rd down.
Entering play call, outside hand pitch. Play type, there are personnel, there are recent plays, coach suggestion, unplanned, there are 8, player, there are Josh Jacobs. Fake punt sweep, fake punt off tack, FD dive.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Here's a give to Barkley. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
Entering play call, coach suggestions, there are 8 categories, you have 12 options, punt is selected. Unplanned, there are player, there are 8 cat, formation, there are 8, play type, there are 8, personnel, there are plate, RPO, special, pass, run, pass. Option is set to Hail Mary free play, Hail, goal post. Cross button.
Here's Carr.
Triangle button. Triangle button.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is incomplete. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And this Texans defense stands tall. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear a peep or protest out of them. That's just who they are.
First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans.
At their own 43.
A first down throw for Mills. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
To throw, Mills.
And Cooks has it over the middle.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10.
Mills.
He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Again, it's Mills.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Now they have the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Now Mills.
And that will be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Fourth down, Mills.
He's letting it fly for Cooks. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Raider D, they get the football back. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
On the NFL scoreboard, they are in the 4th now at SoFi Stadium.
Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Drew Lock with 3 touchdown passes to help lead the way. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 44.
Cross button.
To throw, it's Carr.
Square button.
The slant connects with Devontae Adams. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Entering play call. Formation. There are 8 categories. Play type. There are 8 RPO. Run. FB run. There are 7 Draw. FB run. QB run. Inside handoff.
A handoff to Barkley. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
7 categories. You have 50 options. Empty and AHB plunge is selected. AHB blunt dive. Inside zone split.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Cross-cutting.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Entering play call. Inside handoff. There are 7 categories. You have 50 options. Empty and AHB plunges. AHB blunt dive. Cross-butting.
Barkley.
R2 button.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That good for 19 and a first down.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front. Say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Cross-butting.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
So 2nd and goal, and standing by himself in the backfield, Barkley.
Cross-butting.
Barkley going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Cross-butting.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Saquon Barkley, a 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Raiders look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And he missed it again. The fourth time now in this game alone, and that has to be great cause for concern over on that sideline.
We have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
The Texans back out there and ready to go. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans.
At their own 25-yard line.
Mills now.
They'll run the screen with Mack. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
To throw again on second down.
Mills. Cooks on the quick slant. Mills to Cooks there, and that connection good for a Houston first.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
First down, Mills.
There again is Cooks, complete.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
Mills throw taken in by Jarwin.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Mills again.
Throw complete there. Rodgers.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Here's Mills. This to the outside for Mack. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. Now, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Looking to throw again on second down.
Mills.
This to Jarwin. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A very solid gain of 27. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got it first and goal as they look to punch in a late score.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Looking to throw is Mills.
And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player in the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
Second down and goal. Mills. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. I think here the score dictates you pretty much got to go for it.
But when you look at the scoreboard and you realize that 3 doesn't do you a whole lot of good in this situation, you're exactly right. Dial up one of your better plays and get after it. Forget the field goal kicker. He doesn't matter.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will narrow this, if that's even the right word, to a 30-point deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Raiders now set to get the football back. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the fourth.
AHB blunt dive.
They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
2
yards the loss, second and 12. Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional loss or an occasional bad play along the way, but all in all, they have to like what they've done.
Cross button.
Carr going to look to throw.
Button. R1 button. R1 button.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Cross button.
On third down, Barkley. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders.
And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for Las Vegas, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Texans, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans.